A Chevrolet Bolt owner recently discovered a 21% increase in his monthly auto insurance premium. He had not been in an accident, nor had he received a ticket. But when he pulled his consumer disclosure report, he found hundreds of pages of his own driving habits, including acceleration and braking, logged by his car and sold to an insurance broker. We're told new vehicles cost more because of general inflation and premium features. The math reveals a completely different reality. You're no longer just buying transportation. The modern car has become a corporate informant. How did the automotive industry silently convert private property into a data harvesting subscription platform? And is there still a way to buy a vehicle you fully control? Welcome to Bear Block Chronicles. We follow the money behind the metal. Historically, automakers generated revenue linearly. They sold you a depreciating physical asset, and you drove it away. Today, that baseline assumption is false. The traditional model has been replaced by a software-defined architecture, engineered to extract post-sale wealth. To understand the scale, look at corporate projections. General Motors booked $5.4 billion in deferred revenue from software and connected services in 2025. Stellantis officially targets 20 billion euros in annual software revenue by 2030, planning to monetize a global fleet of 34 million connected cars. Modern vehicles no longer function as hardware. They operate as data harvesting subscription platforms. The core of this extraction relies on smart car surveillance. Vehicles now log rapid acceleration, hard braking, and precise geolocation history. Automakers funnel this telemetry to third-party data brokers. To manage this massive flow of information, the industry relies on a middleman. A data broker, LexisNexis, operates a centralized clearinghouse called the Telematics Exchange. This system gathers raw driving metrics directly from the cellular modems of participating automakers. This deal creates a profound economic mismatch between the parties involved. Most consumers assume their private data is highly valuable. Yet documents provided to the United States Senate show that Honda sold the driving data of 97,000 customers for $25,920. That is a payout of exactly 26 cents per vehicle. Hyundai shared data on 1.7 million vehicles for just over $1 million, translating to roughly 61 cents per car. Automakers collect literal pennies while consumers hemorrhage money. Data brokers normalize this telemetry into risk scores for major auto insurance carriers, resulting in massive recurring financial penalties for the driver. Regulators are finally intervening. In January 2026, the Federal Trade Commission finalized a sweeping consent order. They imposed a 5-year ban preventing GM and OnStar from disclosing consumer geolocation data to reporting agencies. But extracting your data was only the first revenue stream. To guarantee complete financial control, automakers had to eliminate your ability to fix the car yourself. The physical components of a modern vehicle now act as a digital toll booth. Manufacturers have introduced strict cryptographic security layers, creating a repair hostage economy. They do this by intentionally eliminating component modularity through cryptographic VIN-locking. When a new electronic control unit or lighting module is installed, it requires proprietary software coding. This registers the replacement part's serial number to the specific vehicle identification number via a corporate server handshake. The cost of VIN-locking directly targets the consumer. Consider a driver with a 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350. A simple water leak shorted out a headlight control board. In the past, a mechanic could install a cheap replacement from a salvage yard. Today, without the proprietary software suite to authenticate the serial number, the vehicle actively refuses to illuminate the replacement light. This artificial software wall resulted in a $4,300 repair bill from the local dealership. Digital firewalls restricting independent repair guarantee these inflated costs. Manufacturers block independent mechanics using a secure gateway module. A mechanic locked out of car computer systems cannot clear a simple fault code or reset a service light. To bypass the firewall, independent shops are forced to pay an annual subscription fee to a third-party credentialing service, Automotive, simply to interface with the vehicles they are commissioned to fix. This dynamic ensures that routine maintenance requires corporate software authorization. It aggressively consolidates repair market share within franchise dealership networks. Therefore, this exact same logic of artificial software restriction bleeds directly into the cabin. Automakers install physical hardware at the factory, then demand recurring payments to power it. Toyota requires subscriptions for remote start capabilities via their app after initial trials expire. BMW famously faced massive global backlash for attempting to charge a monthly fee for heated seats that were already installed in the vehicle. Because new cars are engineered to extract wealth, millions of drivers are fleeing the new car market. But retreating to the secondary market reveals a completely different crisis. Consumers are holding onto their vehicles longer than ever before. The average age of passenger vehicles on United States roads reached a record high of 12.8 years in 2025. The total operational fleet has expanded to 289 million units. Most buyers assume the used car shortage is a natural byproduct of recent inflation. But the foundation of the affordable used car market was intentionally evaporated. This is engineered scarcity. Domestic auto production plummeted from 16.1 million units in 2007 down to 5.7 million units in 2009. Just as production cratered, the federal government enacted the Cash for Clunkers program. Dealership mechanics were legally required to drain engine oil from traded vehicles and replace it with a sodium silicate solution. They run the engines until the internal components permanently seized. This federally mandated destruction vaporized 677,081 functioning vehicles. By destroying the bottom tier of the used car market precisely when new vehicle production collapsed, the industry fundamentally reset the depreciation curve. They permanently removed the most accessible rung of the ownership ladder. Today, the average used car payment has surged to $570 per month. Consumers facing double-digit interest rates and high purchase prices are locked in a cycle of unsecured debt. In late 2025, buyers who rolled negative equity into a new loan financed an average of $11,453 in dead money. These heavily leveraged buyers are paying luxury tier monthly installments for vehicles that function as leased corporate property. The economic trap is fully set, but the exit window has not completely closed, provided you know exactly where to look. Navigating this environment requires treating vehicle acquisition as a defensive financial strategy. We must prioritize finding vehicles free of corporate network dependence. Target the analog transition zone. High-quality vehicles manufactured between 2004 and 2011 are experiencing unprecedented value retention. This specific era is a highly practical transition zone. It precedes the 2014 federal mandate for backup cameras, a regulation that rapidly accelerated the adoption of dashboard screens. Pragmatic buyers seek out these earlier model years because they lack permanent internet connections. Buying a car from this era physically severs the corporate data connection. And before absorbing somebody else's hidden liability, run the VIN. A clean-looking used car can still carry a buried history of title problems, odometer discrepancies, damage records, auction activity, or open recalls. That's why we partnered with Epic VIN. It's a practical screening tool for pressure testing the vehicle's paper trail before you take on the note. Exploit planned obsolescence. We're conditioned to believe software updates extend a product's life, but in automotive architecture, the silicon processors and modems required to run a software-defined vehicle become technically obsolete within a decade. When telecommunications companies retire older cellular networks, highly integrated vehicle features die permanently. A traditional analog engine block can easily operate for 2 decades with standard maintenance. Audit the onboarding paperwork. Dealerships seamlessly blend vehicle handover with data surrender. If purchasing a late model connected vehicle is unavoidable, explicitly refuse rushed digital terms of service on the dashboard screen. Consent forms for third-party data sharing are deeply buried within unrelated software prompts. Decline the smart driver programs to protect your insurance rates from hidden telematics scoring. The automotive market has permanently fractured into 2 distinct asset classes. We have vehicles that serve the driver and platforms engineered to extract wealth and surveil them. The 2000s represent the last major fleet of vehicles designed primarily for the owner, rather than the manufacturer. This has been Bear Block Chronicles. Protect your financial sovereignty. Leave a comment telling us how car subscriptions or hidden telematics have impacted your garage. And subscribe for more investigative automotive economics.